Howdy folks, little Johnny, brew day, and what is effectively brew number 2 of the Brewventures. Take you back to a video from a couple of weeks back. Talk about a couple of experimental beers coming up with a few things I've seen. One was a corn beer and the other was a beer based around some muesli packs that I found sitting around. Links up there, you can get back and have a look at it if you want. So what I've done is today I'm doing the muesli brew. I have brewed the corn beer. Now, as we're going through, I will pull out a sample of that because I did video on the brew day. I got halfway through and then for various reasons I didn't get to actually finish or do any more video towards the end of the day. And there wasn't really enough there to piece together a full video. I had sort of planned to keep just a little bit of the video footage to even put into the tasting video, but I foolishly wiped the footage from my camera, so that's not going to happen. But the corn beer did that. I said I'm going to do a sample later. It's in the fridge. It's cold crashing. It's going to get bottled probably in 2 days time, so we'll see how that's looking. But what I'm doing today is what I'm going to call the breakfast ale, and it's a beer based around some muesli I found that I had sitting in the cupboard. I actually think that was the one I had sitting in the cupboard that I found, and I went actually bought another packet because one wasn't really going to be enough. So that's what I'm doing. So that's the basis behind the actual brew itself. Okay, so as I said, being that this is a play around, it's a bit of a brew venture, I have not calculated any numbers on this, and at this point in time I have not even worked out a recipe. I've just measured some Marris Otter, which measures 1340 grams. I'm going to just take a record of that. As I said, I'm just going to fly by the seat of my pants a little bit with this one. I haven't got a particular, so I'm not going to a target or a particular outcome. I'm going to go through and work out what I've got. So I'll be doing this in one of my smaller fermenters, so I'm looking at about a 13 litre batch. That's my target. I was going to do this brew in a bag on the stovetop, but yeah, it's not going to happen today. I can't get to the stovetop today. So I'm going to do this just as pretty much a single infusion. I'm not a single infusion, but I'm going to do it in the Robo Brew. I'm just not going to do a big sparge. I'll just do a sparge through with 1 kettle of water. So I'll basically do a full volume resurf on that. And again, I'm going to have to sort of nut out some numbers. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to go, but I'm thinking I'll probably start with 20 litres in the Robo Brew, which I haven't got on at the moment, so I'm just getting the grains ready, then I'll get it on, and then do a run through of that. So I'm looking for 12 litres, so about half a batch. So roughly normal batch for 23 litres. I'm looking for somewhere around 5 kilo of grain. So what I'm going to go with, I'm looking at 3 kilos of grain for this one. I'm happy for it to be a little bit higher alcohol. And the other thing is I'm not entirely sure how much this is going to have an effect, so we'll just see. So I've got the grain here, and just quickly, and that's 20, 49, 60, 62, 68 at 68% grain at 600, so it's about 400 grain in that. We got 40. No, we haven't. This one's got a lot more fruit in it than grain, so I'm having trouble even working how much there is. Okay, well, no, it says the dried fruit's it's 40%, so 60% of the grain. So 540, 300, bit over 300, almost 400. So it's about 700 grams of barley, oats, wheat in there. So 1.3 there, so that's 2 kilo. Now I'm going to throw in a little bit of specialties. As I said, I haven't gone through and worked out what I'm going to do. Got some special B, bit of medium crystal, right down here, bit of chocolate. Oh, could be interesting. And what's that fella? It's a bloody big bag. That's wheat. No, I don't want any wheat. Don't want any wheat in there. Caramunich, yes. Bit of Caramunich. Hell no, don't need you. Okay, that should keep it happy. Got all that on there. No. All good, don't need any rest of that. So that's all good. So I've got with me Marris and what's in the muesli. I've got me about 2 kilos to start with, so we'll just build up a bit from there. I'm not going for a particular style. I want this to be dark. I don't necessarily want it to be a stout. So probably what direction it's going to go in. So I said I'm not really. I'm not calculating. So a bit of chocolate. 3. There, what's that? It's 170 chocolate. 170 of chocolate. And crystal. Now I'm going to add later on a little bit of maple syrup. So that will allow me for some sugar. And I will throw a bit of maltodextrin in, a little bit of body. Crystal, there we go. Tear that off. We might go 200 of crystal. 200. Roughly 200. As I said, so I've got really no idea what sort of gravity I'm going to end up with this. I would imagine it's going to be somewhere in the mid 1050s. Now this is, we're at Caramunich. 120 grams of Caramunich. And lastly we've got Special B, and we might give that a good nudge. We'll go 110 on Special B. That's that. So what we've ended up with is 2, 3, 4, 5. So about 2.5 kilo of grain. So we'll see where that gets, and when it comes to the boil I can adjust. If I feel like I want to put a little bit more gravity in there, I can. We'll see how we go. Now I'm also going to throw in here some coffee beans. Now, this is a mix I bought up the Central Coast in yellow. How much of those? Let's go ahead for. That's a highly scientific method, that one. Handful of the long coffee beans. So they'll just get ground with the grain. So they'll still, they won't be super fine. That'll go in the mash. We'll see what that does. I mean, you can't have breakfast without coffee, really. So that's all good. So I think that's pretty much the grain taken care of. So this stuff I'm just going to throw straight in, and this is why I'm holding back on the sugar. On that grain, I'm not pushing it too far because I just don't know what this is going to add in the way of actual gravity and usable sugars. There is a fair whack of fruit in here. I don't know how much we'll extract from whatever grain is in there either, so we'll see how we go. But given all the grain in there, it will flake. It should convert reasonably well. So that's it for the moment. So I'm going to get this grain milled up, get the water on, and we'll come back when we've got it going along. We've got some sort of numbers to look at, and have a bit of a look at what we're going to do with some hops, stuff like that. Okay, we've come up to mash temp at 67 degrees. We'll mash in. I've ended up going 18 litres instead of 20. After ballparking everything, I stuck the numbers into BrewMate. Mainly so I could work out my hop additions, but 18 litres seems to be a better number. I'll probably mash out. I'll sparge with about 1 litre. So everything's in here. I've added just 2 handfuls of rice hulls just to make sure we're good. So we'll just give this a good stir in, and I'll stick the few little currants and things there floating on top. Righto. Here's in. Get top plate on. Now, I'm going to give this 10 minutes just to settle, then I'll get the pump on and I'll recirculate this for 45 minutes. Do a sparge. So we'll come back and look at that shortly. Okay, so mash is underway. It's time to have a lunch ale whilst brewing the breakfast ale. Why the heck not? This is Cooprs IPA, the Brewway IPA I did a while back. This is the rye version. I haven't been a particularly big fan, but this one's sitting there for give it another taster while I'm going. Anyway, so hops for this batch are going to be, page, Columbus at 45 minutes for our bittering. Going to be 8 grams, 11 grams of Chinook at 15 minutes. Now 45 minutes for the bittering addition, I'm only going to do a 45 minute boil. So I said 8 grams of Columbus at 45, 11 grams of Chinook at 15 minutes, and then another 9 grams of Columbus at 5 minutes. It's actually CTZ, it's not, it's Columbus Tomahawk Zeus, close enough. I've got the number here off the top of my head. I think it was about 37 IBUs, expecting somewhere around, I think it was 42 EBC, so it's only really in the realms of a dark ale or brown ale. It's not even pushing into porter territory for darkness, so that's alright. I'm happy with that. I said I wasn't going for any particular actual finished style. This is not a beer 2 style, so that's where she'll be. Expected, it's worked out, it's calculating that we should be around 5% alcohol. So again, that's going to vary a little bit, particularly on that muesli and how it goes. So I'm pretty happy around that sort of mark. I'll be pretty happy with that. I don't really want it too strong and I don't want it too light. So if we can run anywhere from 4.7 to about 5 from the wort, so we're looking low to mid 5s once it's carbonated and primed up, I'd be pretty happy with that. I mean, reality is you don't want a 7% beer for breakfast. Well, maybe you do, but anyway, so that's what we're looking at. So I'm just waiting for this to come up. Better start the recircle on the pump. Give this 45 minutes. Actually no, 40 minutes. Run it for 40 minutes, then I'm going to raise it up to 78 degrees. So 40 at 67 degrees. I'll put just a 500 element on at that point, and I will run it up to 78 degrees after that 40 minutes, and then sparge it. I won't even hold that 78, I'll just take it up there and sparge straight through. And there we go. So we'll come back and we'll look at the sparge and get a bit of an idea of what our gravity might be looking at. Righto folks, just finished 40 minutes on the mash. I've just set the temperature up to 78 and she's ticking along, so I'm just going to get a quick gravity reading, see how we're travelling. See how things are looking. This is it now, so that's sitting about 10:45. So I'm happy with that. So we're looking for 1050, not 1050, sorry, looking for 5%. So we're definitely going to be over that. 10:45. 7, yeah, that's going to give us somewhere in the low 5s. We're sort of boil yet, so let's sparge a litre of water. So I'm pretty happy. I think that's going to get us somewhere in the target range, possibly even a little bit higher. I was looking for. And the other thing at the moment is we haven't actually added the brewing sugar. So that in itself will add a little bit more gravity points as well. So as I said, we're going to hold off on that. That was the original plan anyway. See where we're looking once we finish the sparge and we've got a mash. We've actually gone through the mash, get that boil on, and once we're actually boiling, we've got to pre-boil volume, have a look at where we're looking at then, and then make adjustments as we go. But as for now, I'm really happy with how that's sitting. Tastes alright, so that's good. So we'll let it run now till it comes up the sparge, and we'll get that on. Okay, we didn't get the 78. We've been running the 500 watt element, and it's only got me to 75. So that'll do us. 75, 78, not a real lot of difference. I'm happy either way. So we'll get the get this recirculation arm out of the way. And we'll start getting the sparge underway. Now, I just boiled a litre of water in the kettle, probably 15-20 minutes ago, so until the sparge was up. I've got a real big sparge, it's nice and simple. It's still plenty hot, so that'll be fine, that'll get the job done. That's her, and we'll get our temperature set back to 102 so we can go to a boil. Put that on, both elements happening, and I'll just let that drain now, and I'll come back in give it 5 minutes or so, and come back and see where we're looking volume wise. So I can sort of make some rough calculations on what we're looking at gravity wise and whether we need to add any sugars or anything like that. Righto, we've got our boil on. We're got somewhere around a bit over 16 litres in there. Just taking a fresh gravity, sitting around 1040. Now we've sparged. So that's not too bad. I'm going to put this first lot of hops in just for now. So just going to go for 45 minutes. I'll give it about 20-25 minutes, and I'll take a sample off and cool it and do an actual hydrometer reading and get a closer idea of the actual gravity, and then work out whether I want to throw in any extra dextrose or anything like that in. Rightio, we're half an hour into the boil, so 15 minutes to go, half a boil flock. This is our Chinook. 11 grams there is, straight in. Now, I'm going to add a little bit of our extra sugar. Now, I'm actually not going to bother checking the gravity right now like I was going to. So I'm just going to go back to the original plan. So in with 300 grams of Cooprs brewing sugar. That's a mix of dextrose maltodextrin. Okay, and our last ingredient, some maple syrup, and not just any old maple syrup, good stuff. If you don't get maple syrup, get the bloody good Canadian stuff. Don't buy the maple flavoured syrup. It's yeah, not sure how much is actually here. I'm just going to throw that all in. And when you throw this sort of stuff in, just make sure you're giving your water a bit of a mix, just to help stop it from sticking to the bottom and catching and burning. The last thing you want to do is get a nasty burnt flavour through your batch. So that's that. Okay, 364. There's 100 grams. Actually, there's 100 there. So 103. So that's good. And just to keep it Aussie, a little bit of golden syrup. I only grabbed those. I didn't think I had enough of the maple, but I did. But we won't put much of this in. I mean, really, what's breakfast without a bit of maple syrup and some golden syrup? Not bloody, maybe a real lot. That'll do it. Probably only about 30 grams. Alright. So, want that to continue on now. In a couple of minutes we'll put the last of the hops in. And while it's getting ready, I'm going to go and get my chiller organised and get it ready to go. Okay, boil's finished, sparge, all that nonsense. We've cooled, and we're in the fermenter, and I've got right on me 12 litres, perhaps a fraction over the 12 litres. What we do have is we've got a gravity of 1058, which is considerably higher than what I was after, what I would have liked anyway. So probably didn't need the 300 grams of brewing sugar, and probably didn't need the maple syrup there towards the in the boil, but I think they're going to be an integral part of the actual overall flavour of the beer. So I'm not too concerned about that. So at the moment I've got a litre of water. I've boiled up and it's letting it cool at the moment. This is probably still sitting about 25-26 degrees at the moment. Because it was only a small batch, I can only get the bottom half of the chiller into the actual wort in the RoboBrew, so it hasn't cooled down completely. So I'll just let it sit here on the. It's going to brew on the bench anyway. At the moment, ambient in the garage, it's sitting in the sort of 17 to 19 degree range fairly steadily at the moment. So it can just sit on the bench for the time being. But I'm going to stick another litre in here. Main reason being, I really don't want this to be a super high gravity beer. Now 1058, looking 1015, 45. So you're getting into the sixes by the time it's primed, and I don't want it that high. I was hoping for something a little bit less than that, but big factor is going to be what does the taste like? Ooh, that's nice. During the boil, it did seem to have quite a bit of edge to it. which was thinking of cutting it back to try to cut that edge down a little bit, but that, how it's cooled is it's not there. There's definitely some hop presence, but yeah, it's not overly bitter. I think that's going to be fine. So I might just leave it where it is and just run with it, and just deal with the higher alcohol. You know, end of the day, it's not going to kill any, not going to kill me. So that's fine. So I said on the bench ambient temperature for the ferment, only because I've still got the that corn beer still in the fridge at the moment. It'll still be in there for another 2 days. So this can sit on the bench for now. I'm running with Nottingham. 1 pack, as I've got water cooling, so I will rehydrate this and pitch it a little bit later this evening. So full packet on the 12 litres, and let it run. And I'll just let this basically, probably just let it sit on the bench here for 2 weeks before I bottle. May even sit for 3 weeks, depending on what else is going on between now and then, and what else is sitting around the place. We'll see. But that's it. Breakfast ale done, dusted. So the ballparking numbers we got right on. So I'm pretty happy with that. Gravity, I'm not unhappy with the gravity. I mean, end of the day, it means I've got good conversion, and all the way through, and I've got good efficiency. So I'm from that point of view, I'm happy with that. So no drama. Sample tastes good. So if you got any questions on the brew process, thoughts behind it, what I'm trying to achieve, stick them down the bottom. I will put the full recipe down the bottom, with as much detail as I can, given the muesli that was in the brew, and let it go, and we'll be back. We'll look at this one in about 6 weeks time, and we'll have a look at getting a tasting on it and see how it's come up. So done. If you haven't subscribed to Little John, hit the subscribe button down there. Come along, watch us, join us at Brewing Beers. We do basic beers, we do all sorts of interesting things, do different stuff like this. But that's me for the day. So till I see you again and we're drinking beer, talking beer, or we're brewing beer, good brewing.